Week 11 in the National Football League. Dexter Reed, World of Mattress, Spencer the Wiz, Blue Milk Boys Gaming. Check us out all over social media, bringing you our best bets for the week. Finally, the bleeding stopped. 3 in a row ended last week. I took Miami to smash. Hopefully, you guys did too, because that's exactly what happened. And hopefully, a steak dinner was eaten. Spencer got clipped taking the Packers. Taking the Dallas Cowboys over the Packers, and the Packers decided they wanted to be the Packers of old. So this week we're rolling into some fresh meat here, and I am going on record as saying my best bet will be the Philadelphia Eagles bounce back -7 on the road versus the Indianapolis Colts, who are absolute frauds and fool's gold. My high school team could beat the Raiders. Matt Ryan with a 40-yard scamper. Do you really think that's happening again? Okay, Jonathan Taylor is back, maybe, but the defensive line in Philadelphia is really, really good. In comes Ndamukong Suh. They brought in Levi Joseph. They got players, man. You think that they didn't learn from losing Monday night and being embarrassed? We watch everyone go off. AJ Brown is going to go crazy. Jalen Hurts is going to go crazy. They're going to run all over Indianapolis. Look, the Colts are not good. Shaq Leonard just had back surgery. He's out. James Bradbury, Darius Slay. They're going to take Michael Pittman right out the game. Alec Pierce right out the game. -7 isn't enough, if you ask me. I think that the Eagles are really going to be chomping at the bit to get back to letting America know that there's a reason why they have the record that they have. Nick Sirianni, I think, is going to run the ball right at that Colt defense without Leonard in there. I think this is a recipe for disaster for Colt fans that think that they're on their way back now that they got Jeff Saturday, who's never coached a game. And Jeff Saturday never coached Madden before. Come on, bro. Fall back with this nonsense. You beat the Raiders. Everybody beats the Raiders. The Raiders are not a good team. So I think this is a tough spot for them to be in. Philadelphia is a playoff team. Philadelphia is a potential Super Bowl team, and I think they're going to go in there, and I think they're going to annihilate this team. I think it'll be something like 27-14 with ease. I think Jalen Hurts is a lot better than what you saw Monday night. Look, no team in the National Football League is going undefeated. The Miami Dolphins are going to be popping champagne for the rest of their lives. That 72 team, they're all going to die. You will never see it happen again. That National Football League era is over. Nobody is going undefeated. So they got that loss out of the way. This team is too good to lose 2 games in a row. The defense is too good to get beat up on. They're going to go into Indianapolis, and they're going to carve this team like a Thanksgiving turkey. -7. Don't be scared of the 7. I know it's a crooked number. It's only a touchdown. This is a team that they should blow out. On paper, they're clearly better than this team, and they're going to be pissed. They're playing indoors. They're playing on turf. Everything lines up to them beating this team to death. I don't believe in the Colts anywhere. Matt Ryan is a statue. They're going to get after him. Best bets. We're on a roll now. We're going to start doing what I did last year with my Thursday night bets, where I put together like 9 or 10 in a row. We're about to do that here, folks. The confidence is booming. It's coming out of my pores. Take the Philadelphia Eagles here. Go to Sizzler. Eat steak. Add a lobster tail. Popping bottles all day, every day. Let's go.
Yeah, well, yeah, exactly. The Colts are not playing the worst team in the NFL again this week, so definitely bodes well for the Eagles there. I get right game for them, and if Jeff Saturday wins this game, they might start making a movie about the guy who comes
Give
out
the
of
guy a
nowhere.
statue.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, I just don't see that happening. And for my best bet, I'm going for the Denver Broncos against the Raiders. I just wanted to. I don't even know if this is going to hit, and I don't really care at this point. I just have to talk about the Raiders for a second, about how bad they are. But first of all, how good the loss was last week. I don't. For some reason, Raiders fans are okay with losing in the wild card, but it's so bad to miss the playoffs. Like, is there really a stark difference crawling into the playoffs? And dude, I'd rather take a top 10 pick. To me, there's only 2 things that a franchise can do. You're either building for a championship run or you're making one. If you're doing this in between BS, that's what you're going to get, in between BS. I saw that my entire life as a Raiders fan. The Carson Palmer 8 and 8 days, the Jason Campbell 8 and 8 days. It's sickening, and it gets you nowhere, and it gets you just running in circles. I'd rather see this team lose every single game for the rest of the season. And I don't care. These Raiders fans on Twitter, delusional. I'm not delusional, dude. I'm a real Raiders fan. I want to see them be successful because I haven't seen them be successful in 20 years. 20 years. I haven't seen them be good in my life as far as I'm concerned. I was 5 when they went to the Super Bowl. I don't remember anything when I was 5
And they
years
got
old.
their shit pushed in.
Since I've seen them, they've been bad my entire life. So let's drop this. We got a new GM, which I like so far. People are just overreactionary to everything. This guy traded for Devontae Adams, and he got a damn good deal for him. A first-round pick. He's the best receiver out of this year's draft. If that's the way I think about it, you give up that first-round pick. The Raiders needed a receiver. Where they were drafting, there would have been none. And instead, they got Devontae Adams, probably the best wide receiver in the NFL. A GM can make a move like that. I have faith in him. He also
top 3.
He also picked up some decent offensive linemen late in the draft. If you get anybody from 4 on who could play for you, that's a successful draft for me because you're almost never going to get that. It's a crapshoot at 4 to 7. So if you get anybody, it's good.
But the coach.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of it. I think people are generally overreacting to Josh McDaniels, too. I think he puts together good game plans. I think the defensive coordinator, Patrick Graham, might have to go. Look, here's the reality of this Raiders team. They're not talented. This isn't a talented football team. There was this illusion that they were. Yes, they have good skill position players, but that's what they are. They're skill position players. There's a whole other team out there that needs to play. This team has no. Can you tell me one defensive tackle that plays for the Las Vegas Raiders? I know because I'm a degenerate Raiders fan, but no one else knows who this Vickers guy is. I see some random names on the back of these jerseys in the middle of the game. Chandler Jones.
He's a bum.
That was a bad signing. It's so hard to predict those kinds of things. I don't really tend to overreact one way or the other. I think that's on Chandler Jones more than is the GM. I mean, you're talking about Chandler Jones had double-digit sacks for multiple seasons now, and now suddenly he's like, I think he's just out of shape. I think he signed his contract and he got out of shape.
You gave all these guys huge contracts.
Oh yeah, Darren Waller.
Carr should have got a prove it deal. Waller should have got a prove it deal. All these guys got huge contracts, and now they're fat, injured, and they're useless, and they're all getting paid.
Yeah. So luckily, Derek Carr has no guaranteed money, I think, after next season. So
release Derek Carr.
He'll be gone, and it won't really hurt them too bad. So, I mean, at least they structured his contract pretty well. If he plays well, you pay him like a good quarterback. If he doesn't, like he does now, you just release him. They need help on the offensive line. They don't have any defensive tackles. They don't have any linebackers. They don't have any safeties. That's the reality of the team. So losing against the Colts, you're competing for the first overall pick, and you just won that. And now you got the Steelers coming up too for the Raiders. That's another big game for them. You get the first overall pick, a world of possible. Look what the Miami Dolphins did when they had a high pick. They traded back, and look what they converted those assets into. Having the first overall pick or having a top 2 pick is one of the most invaluable assets in all of sports because NBA is a lottery system. In the NFL, if you're bad, you get that. And that's going to change. That can change your
culture.
The Miami Dolphins franchise forever. They converted those assets into Tyreek Hill, and you can go down the list. Bradley Chubb. You can't do that when you're the 15th pick and you win 5-6 games in the season. You got to lose.
Just lose, baby.
They're not going to fire Josh McDaniels. That's a stupid thing that people on Twitter are saying.
Well, they're too cash poor. They can't afford to.
And I think
if they could afford to, they would, bro. They can't.
I don't think they would. I don't think they would. They're going to keep this guy around because
the Raiders are a poverty franchise. They're
right now they are. Right now they are. So going into this game, it's a garbage fest because the Broncos are somehow worse, which is extremely impressive if you ask me. How the Broncos have managed to be worse than the Raiders, and they are. I don't care what the record. If you're a bad football team, your bad football team. Your wins and losses don't matter at that point. I mean, the Broncos have one of the best defenses I've ever seen in my entire life. If they could score 18 points a game, they'd be like undefeated right now. If they can't score 18 points a game, they lost all of their assets. They're in big trouble, man. I don't know what they're going to do.
Horrendous.
I think they gave Russ. I don't think he has a contract like Derek Carr. I think they gave him a lot of guaranteed money, so they can't really just cut him. So it's a bad situation. This is a horrible. This is just a garbage fest on Sunday. I'm going to go with the Denver Broncos simply because their defense is so good. The Raiders opened it up against them. That's the first time they did the entire season in that win against Denver. Division games like this usually go split between bad teams. That's what I'm going to go with here. It's only a 3-point spread. The Raiders are trash. The Broncos are trash. I'll take the trash on the side of Denver on this one, just because I want to talk about how shitty the Raiders are.
This is so funny too, because this honestly is the type of game that the Raiders all of a sudden play their best game of the year and win.
I know, because they're to
Because
ruin their
you
draft
because you
position.
want them to tank and you want them to lose. But Raider Nation is so starved for just something to be happy about, to just win any type of game, that I could see them come out. Josh Jacobs will run for 200 yards and have the best 3 touchdowns, and have the Foster Moreau will look like Darren Waller. That's just how NFL is. I'm taking the Raiders in this game. The Raider Nation is just starved. See, most of your fan base is not well intellectually structured and knowledgeable about the team. They're just a bunch of degenerates. You actually know Raider football, but these guys are just Raiders. They just want wins. My neighbor has got Raiders shit all over his house for as long as I've lived here. He took it all down. It's all gone. I mean, there's like no kind of faith whatsoever. People are depressed or on antidepressants. Half of Las Vegas is just like, get rid of McDaniels. The cash poor. You got a brand new stadium. You need something to keep the fans in the seats. You need something to keep the prices of those tickets going up, and they're going to try to win. If they were smart, they would tank, like
Bryce
you're
Young,
saying.
maybe, or CJ Stroud, Will Anderson.
Stroud,
I really want
you know what I
Anderson
mean?
the most, but
Stroud would look good in silver and black, but again, they are not going to tank. They're not. They're going to play to win. They have to justify bringing in Devontae. They have to justify McDaniels. They have to justify letting Bisaccia go, which was the biggest mistake of their entire offseason. They have to justify all this stuff. They have to justify $15 beers, $12 hot dogs, $50 parking, and the only way, $300 million car. The only way you can do this is to win. That's it. That's it. And so I see them going out there and playing really hard. They're going to try to win. I mean, Derek Carr is crying. He is crying during a press conference. Bro, this is an all-time low. The Raiders need a win worse than any other team in the National Football League, and I think they get it here Sunday. So I hear what you're saying, but not all money is good money, bro. You know what I mean? Not all fans are smart fans. What you're saying makes sense, but you're the anomaly in your fan base, sadly. Dexter Reed World of Matchups. Spencer the Wiz. Somebody give Spencer a hug, man. It's been a rough year for the 2-7.
I got my Grizzlies, though. I don't even care, man.
Vegas
I got my
Raiders.
Grizzlies primed for a playoff push right now. Woo! I got the Vegas Golden Knights are looking pretty hot. Raiders are the last thing on my mind right now. I got good franchises to
thank God, because the Raiders are absolute nightmare. If you're watching this game and you're not a fan of the Raiders or the Broncos, do yourself a favor. Go outside and jump off the freaking
touch grass.
There's a million other better things. You could be going pumpkin picking, or like take your girlfriend to like go see Santa Claus or something, because this game is going to be absolutely horrendous. Dexter Reed World of Matchups, and that's it for week 11. We'll see you guys next week. Enjoy the games.
See you next week.